I love you guys. I love you. Waking up with you every morning would be something I'd like to do every day of my life. What more can you ask for to be surrounded in an environment and an atmosphere that with people that you love, that inspire you, that move you, that motivate you, that irritate you to do something so big to step out and do something you were born to do, which is be better than you are right now, every day for the rest of your life, because we're going to develop our abilities every day, right? We're going to work on ourselves. Is that what we're going to do? Yes. Yes. Where's Drayton's team, by the way? I got to just know where you're sitting. Oh. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. I got to tell you that today is a very special day, of course, because you're going to hear a lot about business building from JR and, of course, our beautiful family, Nancy Franks and Loren Franks and Katie Franks and William and Izzy, Eva, everybody's in the house, our family. Dennis is with us today again. Yes, he is. You know, I gotta tell you, one of the things I've learned over 30 years of us being together, that if you can have really solid friendships that turn into family, and you can count them on one hand, if you get a couple on one hand, you're a really lucky person. A really lucky person. And you know, it's funny because there's, you know, a lot of people you encounter over 30 years, right? As you get to be successful, you get to meet a lot of people in your life, but you never really meet a lot of people like you all that, or this person that gives you such significance. It makes you feel so special. That friend who's your ride or die, your Batman to your Robin, your superhero, the one who's got your back, the one who's always there. You can call her when you're sad and she'll be on an airplane. I have one or two of those in my life. They all are right in my little circle. We keep a really tight circle, and the one who promotes you and pushes you to be better and greater. The one who makes you believe that when you thought you were just doing so much already, that proves you can do more. That never lets you down, that always reminds you that you can be better today than you were yesterday. I have that. And I'm so lucky to have that with Eva Longoria. Yes. And I got to tell you, I mean, for 15 years, her and I have been ride or die. Vacations, holidays, birthdays, right, Mark? Celebrations, just moments, minutes, even if we got an hour in between flights, even if we got an hour in between breaks, red eyes, birthday parties, in between weddings. I can think of all the things over the last 15 years that we did, and we never seem to stop making memories. She never seems to not, she never says no. When she heard that you guys were here today celebrating 30 years, she has a huge meeting tonight at 6 p.m. in Miami. She's like, babe, I've got to stop in Greensboro and see my Greensboro family. I got to stop there and see everybody. I got to stop there and see all these people. And, you know, I want to run a short sizzle reel just because I know you guys all know Eva from all the incredible things she's done in her life. She started out Young and the Restless. She became your favorite as Gabrielle in Desperate Housewives. Since then, yes, of course. And then, of course, by the way, that's almost been, that was in 2011 the last time, so almost 13, 12 years ago, 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago. And then, of course, she's moved on doing all types of acting projects. More importantly, she's focused on being an incredible director, producer, activist for women, lobbyist, fighter and believer of women's empowerment.
Good morning, good morning.
I wasn't quite ready for you, but I love you. I'm always ready for you.
I love you so much.
I love you so much. I got it. Eva's in the house, guys.
Hi. Good morning, good morning.
It's so funny because I write her every day and I say, we've been friends for nearly, 16, 17 years.
A minute.
A minute. And I always say she looks younger now and hotter now than when we met. And it blows my mind how inspiring, how moving, how caring. And I saw a lot of women cheering when I talked about this. How you're always fighting for women. How you're always fighting for Latinos. Fighting for, yes.
Yes. Where are the ladies at?
Yes.
Where are the ladies at? Oh, okay.
Okay.
There's a couple ladies here.
We got a couple ladies.
We got a couple ladies here. Let me tell you, I've always said this, ladies, you are the CEOs of your households.
Yes.
And so, women make the business decisions, the financial decisions, the educational decisions, the health decisions. So even though a lot of times we don't have that title, you are all CEOs.
Exactly. 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 And you know what I think? Oh, I'm right there. Oh, there you are. Hi, you. Like, where am I? Yes, there you are. That's a great shot, by the way. I know, when you turn around, you just see the back. Mark's laughing. It's like, Mark's laughing at us because he sees her turning around every time she does. She sees the back of herself.
Yeah.
Like, where am I? No,
the back of my hair looks amazing.
It does. Thank you, Myla. This is what I deal with her all the time. Every time we're together, we laugh like this, we joke like this, and then we have a lot of moments that I'm truly, truly just inspired and moved, and just blown away at how much you fight for people.
No.
And that is a quality that you do not see in a lot of people. And as I told you, over 30 years, I've come across them all. Mm-hmm. The reason why we're so close all these years is because she moves me to be a better person. And I work a lot. And even I get so inspired and so moved by her that I feel like I'm never doing enough.
Says you. I feel like I look at your life and I go, I'm not doing enough. Look at Loren.
And I think that's what happens when you have these incredible women, strong women in your life. And I know your whole family so well, and I know you grew up with beautiful, strong women around you, and your dad I love so much. And who was that person? Because, you're amongst all these entrepreneurs who love you today, and all these people some are new, some have been here with us forever. And I think there's two things to talk about when I talk about Eva. One is, who was that person that really inspired you or pushed you to believe in yourself, if there was one? Because you know there's not a lot usually.
Yeah, no, I was lucky and blessed. I have, as you said, I grew up with a lot of women. I have 9 aunts, my amazing mom. I have 3 sisters. There was no men in our life.
No.
And when Santi was born, I was like, boy.
We got one.
We got one.
We got one.
What do I do? So I was really lucky to grow up surrounded by a lot of strong, independent women. But it was really my mom who taught me my work ethic. She didn't overfill me with like, you can do it, you can do it. She was like, you better figure it out. I remember going, I want to be a cheerleader, and it was expensive. And she said, well, you better figure that out. And then I said, Mom, I want to go to college, and we didn't have money. And she said, well, you better figure that out. And then I was like,
By the way, bachelor's and a master's, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Bachelor's and a master's. That's big time. Most people don't know that about you. Yeah. I won't tell you all the facts. I know them all.
But it showed. I think the main thing she taught me was to be resourceful. You figure it out, and that's what I love about kind of what y'all do here at Market America. Is you teach people to do things for themselves. You're not going to just fill them with rah, you can do it. You actually need the tools.
You need the tools.
And you need the self-motivation. So nobody's going to believe in you like you believe in yourself. Yeah. And so I think that's the one thing. It's just in my DNA. I knew I would be successful. I didn't know I'd be an actor. I didn't know I'd be a producer. I don't know what I would. I said, if I'm a dentist, I'm going to be a really successful dentist.
Come on, that's the point.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, be great at it.
Be great.
Be great. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think people get like, they're like, oh, it's so hard to be successful. I think what's really hard is for people to be committed to themselves.
Yeah.
To stay committed. Because if you're going to be a dentist, be a great one. Give it all you got.
Be a lawyer. Be a great lawyer. Yeah.
Exactly. Be good. Lord knows the world needs some good ones. But I mean, I didn't mean it like that, but you know what I mean. More, or no,
There may be too many of those.
Too many of those. But I think, you know, you're right. And I think if we're lucky to have that one or two people that really step up in your life and say, hey, you can do it, or let me instill the right work ethic in you, because I know your family, and I know that they really pushed you to be hardworking.
Yeah.
But they weren't the rah-rah, go believe in yourself, you can be anything you want. That came a lot from you.
From myself, of like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to figure it out.
And even, I mean, I'm very close with Eva's husband also, and he's always like kind of blown away. And she's like, nope, I've got to leave tomorrow morning. Nope, I'm leaving at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, she has her mission.
Yeah.
And she is so mind-blown because nothing is going to stop her from succeeding and also having significance.
You know, another thing that matters is how you speak to yourself, and how you speak, but how you speak to yourself.
Yes.
Mostly is, you know, I was talking to somebody, and they said, "How was your day?" And I said, "Oh, so busy. Oh, so busy. My day's so busy." And it was like sounded so negative when everything in my day was towards building something in my life. And I had a friend, Jay Shetty, who said, "Stop saying you're busy and start." I know Jay Shetty. Whoop whoop.
And me too. I love Jay.
I love Jay. And stop saying I had a busy day. And when somebody says, "How was your day?" you say productive. I had a productive day.
Exactly. A positive day.
Yes, a positive day. Like if your day was busy, that's a good thing, because that means you're working towards your goals, you're accomplishing things. And the other thing was, like, I used to say, I have to get home and make dinner for Santi. I have to go on this trip to Greensboro. I have to. And changing that to I get to go to Greensboro.
Wow. That's big, guys.
I get to.
It's talking to yourself.
Talking to you. How you speak to yourself matters more than how you speak to others. What you're telling yourself is, so I get to get home and bathe Santi. Not I have to get home to bathe my son. I get to have dinner with my son. So really think about what and what you say to yourself and how you say it.
By the way, that's probably one of the best tips I've heard all weekend, because yes, I agree with you. Yes, because we've heard a lot of things, and tomorrow I know my team and I were talking about, you know, how to feed your mind.
Yeah.
But she's right. You can talk to other people, and we tend to talk different to ourselves. We're like, why am I so nice to them but so hard on myself?
Yeah.
And we forget to give ourselves self-love.
I'm so patient with them, but I'm not patient with myself. Yeah.
Yes, and it's a trap that we kind of fall in, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've done it all, as you know, I know. What made you want to become, because one thing I think you should know about Eva, and I say this all the time because I've had the opportunity to introduce her at different things, and I'm always, my mind is always blown by her because she's always doing more. And so I guess, you know, when she stepped out, she had clothing brands, a shoe line. She just launched an amazing tequila, right? Casa del Sol.
Casa del Sol.
Which is, yes, for all our tequila drinkers out there, you'll have that at the party tomorrow night, yes. But all of our tequila drinkers, the point is, what made you really want to be an entrepreneur? Because she really does use her platform as a celebrity. I have a lot of celebrity friends, but not celebrity family. Like Eva. Eva's my family. And she uses her platform not to be famous, but to help people. To help people. There's a big difference of being famous or using that as a platform to elevate and help people. What made you want to become an entrepreneur and use your platform as you do?
You know, two things. I love building things. And I was talking to a professor of happiness at Yale. They teach a class about happiness, and it's like the most taken class at Yale. And the professor said, as human beings, we are the happiest when we're building something or when you're creative. Not money, not fame, not these byproducts of success, but when you're creating something. If you're cooking and you make something, there's a sense of accomplishment in that. When you do your makeup and you do this,
do
and
it
then you
good.
go, oh wow, I look good. There's that, like, it could be small things like that, like I've just created this, because this is an illusion, and or a business, right? I built that business, and that's something that makes us the happiest. So I tend to lean into that. Like, where am I going to be the happiest doing something? And that's why when I was acting, I love acting because that's creating. I'm creating, but I wanted to build something for myself, and that's why I started directing and producing, was because I thought, you know what, I want to be more in control of the final product, and so that's where really I think the entrepreneurship spirit came out. But it's always been in me. I've always been interested. I was the #1 Girl Scout cookie salesman.
Yeah, girl.
I was the #1 Wendy's burger salesman.
Yeah. She was the one who sold me my Biggie shake at Wendy's.
Yeah. You're Frosty. You're Frosty. That
My
was
Frosty.
me. I would upgrade you. Are you
Yeah,
sure you don't want to add
upgrade
a
me.
Frosty to that
That's it.
today?
I take an extra Biggie, baby. We did it. She worked at Wendy's.
Yes.
That's amazing, isn't it? And JR and I started our big dates at Wendy's. It's a big story here, so it's really amazing. But I think that's the thing, because she said, I want to make sure you heard that, because first of all, I need to go take that class. I think we should all take the class on how to be happy, because we
It's
get
online.
obsessed.
Yeah.
We become obsessed with being successful, and I want to be careful that I want to make sure you don't miss that. I keep saying it's important to be obsessed with significance. Significance means that you're doing for others. And that's really important. And the only way to be truly happy is to be progressing, to build, and to help others.
Yeah.
And that's your whole life story. From your sister who has special needs.
Yeah. That's where it's in the DNA of who I am, because I have an older sister who has special needs, and so I've always benefited from philanthropy or charity, because these organizations would help my sister. And I used to think charity was a person. I was like, who's this charity girl? She's so nice.
Mark's dying.
She's so nice. I want to meet her one day. Not knowing charity was people that you don't even need to know who are trying to help their fellow humanity. And so I knew, I was like, I want to continue to do that and build on that cycle. And we should all do that. And you don't have to solve world issues. You can help somebody in your neighborhood, in your community, and your next door neighbor.
That's right.
Like,
yes.
Doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to be money. Could be time.
Doesn't have to be money.
Could be time.
Could be time, your energy. Yeah.
And that's
start small.
important. And I think, by the way, let me just tell you, like I always support any charities that Eva does. And years ago, we used to do this one called the Rally for Kids.
Yes.
JR and her were always on
very
the same
serious
team.
competitors.
They were serious competitors. The two of them, if they didn't come home with the biggest trophy, they would accuse everybody of cheating. And my team.
Yeah, you did.
You won?
Amber won that.
No, but Eva and JR won 1 year. They did.
No, I think we didn't, and JR was mad.
JR was mad that they didn't when she said. That's probably true. But my team knows Eva, that we're big game. Eva's a big game player, right? Jim loves playing Wolves and Villagers. And we play games with Eva all the time, and she's extremely competitive. And I think it's also a sign of a strong woman.
Yeah. And drive.
And drive and passion. And whatever she does it well. If she doesn't want to play the game, she'll just tell you.
But especially as women, I think we get a bad rap if we're driven and ambitious, that it's a negative. And I think, we have to turn that around and celebrate women who are competitive.
Yes.
And who have drive.
Come on, you
who
can
are
clap.
ambitious. Yes. That's right.
That's right. That's
Latina
right.
power.
And remember, women, we love you guys over there. See you. Love you. We love you too. And I think the thing that you should know about Eva, and my team knows this, Mark and Andrew and JR, especially Steve, is when Eva's hosting something, if we're not raising enough money and the room is not raising enough money, she'll be like, y'all need to raise your hand and raise the money. And she's right. Because if she doesn't push us to do more, we never will. Because we have to show up. She doesn't want to let those kids down. So sometimes it's like I'm always blown away because she's thinking of them. Like some people just Some famous people just show up, I hate to tell you, and they do charities just to be up there and they get paid for it. Eva doesn't get paid for it.
No.
She shows up and she does what she wants to do because she has the heart and the love for it.
No.
And that's what makes you...
Should. That's why you should do it, yeah.
And it's true, and I think it's a lesson that all of Hollywood should take from you. And
you have to do it without something in return. But I will say, philanthropy gives you so much more joy than receiving, and so you automatically benefit from it.
And I think also too that giving without expecting in return.
Yeah.
You know, that's a very important.
Yeah.
You know, I used to say to people around me or friends or family, if they loan somebody money, I say, don't give that and expect it to get it back. If you're giving it, give it as a gift, knowing you're not going to get it back so you don't feel bad about them later. Because you don't want to give something to somebody that you feel bad about. You want to do it because you care enough that you want to do it and you know that you can afford to do it and you're going to write it off in your mind.
When you're investing in people.
You're investing in people, exactly.
Yeah.
And that, talking about people, I know you know this, we both share the same philosophy. How important is it to associate with the right people?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
100%. Birds of a feather flock together. I will say that has been the most, probably the biggest factor of success has been having people around you who support your dreams, who believe in your dreams, who want to see you succeed. And by the way, you don't have to know all of these people. You know, there's so many people online that I respect and admire. I listen to their podcasts, I read their books. I've never even met them and they've had an influence on my life. And so I think sometimes you have to really look around you and see, you know, do the people around me support where I'm headed, support my dreams, support my goals? And if they don't, you know, you got to say goodbye.
Cut them out of your life.
Yeah.
You just got to cut them out of your life. And that's a hard thing to do. But when you do it, it feels very liberating.
Well, no, and also whenever you surround yourself with other people, I mean, just like this, look at all of y'all have the same mindset.
Yeah.
Like, you can feel the magic of all of, I can feel all of your brains turning and you're thinking and you're already thinking, when I go back home, how am I going to apply this to my life? And I'm going to do this and I'm going to tell my sister that thing that she said and that's what you want. You want to have a multiplying effect on your community.
Yes.
So Loren can say one thing, but then you take it back home and you tell 5 people and now 5 people are motivated and then those 5 people are going to go motivate other people. And that's what you want. Duplication, multiplication.
And it's big.
Yeah.
And I think when you have those people pushing and inspiring you, it pays you back because we give and we receive as friendship and as familyship.
I also think you have to be really conscious of what you ingest every day. So like you said, you do so much. You and I think there's 48 hours in one day.
I know.
Right, like there is 40. You waste more time than you think.
Yes.
And so if you're more efficient with your day, obviously you're going to get more done. But also, I feel like there's just, if let's say you are scrolling on Instagram, what is in your feed? Right? Are you getting positivity? Are you following entrepreneurs? Are you following business tactics? Are you following positivity quotes? Because I do a lot of political activism, and I had to clean out my Instagram of the news because it was all bad. And I was like, every time I read my phone, it was just bad. And I was like, I'm getting all this bad energy.
To unfollow.
So I unfollowed all these things, and I started changing it. So what you ingest matters, not only on your phone, but through who you talk to during the day.
Your input, your output.
Anything that's being input into you matters. And so if you only have a certain amount of hours in that day, make sure what you're ingesting is positive.
It's true, and that's huge, and I think she's right. It's that input and output that we talk about.
Yeah.
That's so critical.
Yeah.
When you, and these are all these amazing entrepreneurs, and as I said, some of them are new, right? So the belief in yourself is so important. It's like feeding your mind daily. What tips would you give them to stay focused? Because it's so easy to be off track by the emergencies of your life, and everything's an emergency if we let it consume us, right? And I feel like over the last 17 years, I've really watched you take control of kind of clearing the mess out of the way and saying, that's not going to be my problem today because I got to stay focused on where I want to go. How do you, what's the advice you can give them to stay focused, to not get off track? What do you recommend that they do, you know, that conversation with themselves each morning?
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to create habit with your work, and the habit has to be towards your goals, right? The same thing with working out. Nobody enjoys working out. I don't enjoy working out, but it's a habit now, and I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Now it brings me joy. But like it did 4 years. It took 4 years for it to bring me joy. So you have to really stick with a pattern and a habit of doing what you need to do. If it's your phone calls, if it's your cold calls, if it's your list, if it's checking up on people, if it's a following up, it's a lot of habit. But also I would say you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Look at the support system you guys have. If you are struggling and you go, I'm not motivated, let me call Jane, who's also doing the same thing. Jane, what did you do? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to be,
you're not alone. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
This is what I always say talking about lawyers. Anytime I've had a problem or something, and I go, guys, this has definitely happened to somebody else. What did they do? And then my lawyers will go and go, oh, okay, this is what happened. I go, great, let's do that. Why am I figuring this out? I don't want to figure this out. You figure it out. I pay you to figure it out.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm not the first.
I'm not the first. You're not the first to get bumped by hard work. You're not the first to feel unmotivated sometimes. So what do other people do? And look to that support system that you've surrounded yourself with, and sure enough, they'll have an answer for you.
And I think that's a great yes. You can keep clapping. That's fine. I hear you. I don't want to stop you. We're always moved and inspired by that. And I think that's important because most people don't have a support system like this, guys. In America or all around the world, because there's people in Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, everywhere here. That support system is so key. It's like you must have those. You have a huge family of support around you. And I think what she said, it's so important to stay on track, to stay focused, to remind yourself of the end goal. And I think...
And also celebrate your little victories.
Big.
Celebrate the little victories. I accomplished this today. It may not be the end goal.
A lot of little wins.
A lot of wins.
A lot of little wins. And it's funny, too, because I laugh. I wrote her last month. I said, babe, can you send me the workout that you do on the trampoline? Because every day I see her, and she's pumping the trampoline. And it looks so easy. But, let me just tell you, I tried it. About 60 seconds later, I wrote her. I said, I just want to let you know I hate you. It was so hard. And she saw me. She said,
by the way, I could only do 5 minutes when I started.
And
now I do an hour. But this has been 3 years.
I know. And she told me, don't stop.
Doesn't happen overnight. No.
Well, it was funny that she said that to me. She goes, babe, I do it now for an hour, but I started out, and after 5 minutes, I was dying.
Stick with it. Stick with it.
Stick with it. And she's right, because, you go to the gym once, and I teased Wrighton and his team about this all the time, because they're all good-looking, buff, all those guys. All them. And
they're buff.
And I'm like, you go to the gym and you work out and you put in an hour and you go the next day and the third day and the fourth day and then you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't see any abs. You don't get abs after 4 days. Where are they? And then you throw in the towel.
Yeah.
And that's what she's saying. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Stick with it. So instead of worrying about doing an hour or 2 hours a day, do 20 minutes every day.
Yeah.
It's the consistency, like you're saying. It's the habit.
Yeah.
So tell me, there's a couple more questions I need to ask you. One of them is for somebody who's done everything from being an incredible actress, producer, movie star, philanthropist, to Eva. She loved it when you were in Dora, of course, right? We love when TT was in Dora. What inspires you to keep going? Because you have huge success. Everything we ever wanted. We always thought, like, when we have a baby, when I say we have a baby, because it was us having a baby, that's what it felt like. When we have a baby, we got all the success we could ever be wanting for, right? What keeps you inspired? What keeps pushing you? And the reason I ask you that is there's all these millionaires on the floor. I want them to understand don't get stuck in the rut of being, I was successful, I can still be successful.
Well, I refuse to believe my greatest success is behind me.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Come on.
When people go, oh my God, you've done so much, I was like, I don't even think I've tapped into my potential. you know, and I just think there's so much more ahead for me. So I don't believe, you know, people are like, oh my God, you were on that #1 show for 10 years and that must have been amazing. I go, it was, but it wasn't the highlight of my life. Like, that's yet to come. I can't wait to see what's in store.
Oh my God.
You know?
And that's it. It's that push.
Yeah. Your greatest success is not behind you. It's in front of you.
And do you hear yourself
say,
I'm not done yet?
Oh,
I got so much more I got to do.
Yeah. And everybody asked me that. When are you going to stop?
Yeah.
And I was like, stop what?
It's not about the money anymore. It's not about the money. It's about the psychic success of it.
Yeah.
Psychic
And creating and building.
creating.
I'm going to keep building and keep creating because that's what makes
And
me
that's
happy.
important, guys, being a builder. And that's what we're here this weekend doing, right? We're building.
Yeah.
We're building a business, an empire for ourselves.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm talking about tomorrow is how our beautiful children can teach us so much about life. And now that you have Santi, what would you say are the top 2 or 3 things that he's taught you as a person, as a mother, as a woman?
Yeah.
About
I mean,
life?
he has really taught me a lot about patience, for sure, and slowing down, you know, and really being present. I think sometimes
important.
we're just like, you know, running. We have a lot to do. And when you have children, you have to be really present with them, you know. They want you here and right now and always.
And he's a dreamer too, though.
Yeah, when people always ask me, like, what are you going to teach him? What are you going to tell him? What are you going to tell him? And you can only teach kids by showing them.
Yeah.
Show them you're an independent woman. Show
Yes.
them you're successful. Show them what success looks like.
Yes.
Show them what philanthropy looks like. And so I hope he sees that in me and goes, I want to be like that, or I respect that. You know, he's 4, but he's already a feminist. You know, because
It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah,
And
because he sees.
he sees it. And
sees
I think what she said is so important because I think, you know, I was having this conversation and with several key people who really focus on child psychology. And I think the thing that we talk about neglect a lot lately is parents. And I think one of the biggest forms of neglect is, as we become adults, our inability to show children our full potential as parents. That's a real form of neglect because we're teaching them that we don't think we're possible. And we have to be careful we don't do that to children because it's hurting us, society, generation after generation. We have to be really careful that we show them what we want them to see.
Yeah.
You know, and
They're looking. They're watching.
they're watching.
They're watching.
They're really watching. You've done it all. You know how much I love you. You've done it all.
Guys.
From everything you could possibly think
Hey,
of.
I'm so happy to be here. You guys are in such amazing hands, and you know, I love your slogan, powered by people, built on product, but powered by people. People empower everything, not just this small business. The world is powered by people. And so the potential, the fact that you guys give everybody all of these ideas and tools and come together to share all of this knowledge, you're lucky and blessed to have such great leadership, not only up here with Loren and JR and Mark and Steve, with each other. You guys should feed off each other, learn from each other, support each other, connect with each other, because you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot. So congrats on 30 years!
30 years! And Eva's been to a lot of them.
Been half.
You've been to a lot of them.
I've been through half.
She's been through half of them with us, and you've been to many events. That's
I've
why
been through half.
she didn't
But
want to miss
congrats.
this one.
Congrats to you guys.
I love you.
I love you.
And I know she really did say I would not miss this moment.
Red eye, hour-and-a-half drive,
A red eye.
20-minute makeup.
She has not slept yet.
I haven't-
She got on a plane last night.
Haven't slept.
At 1 a.m., took the red eye, landed
Delayed.
from Los Angeles at 6:44. She got to my house, did her hair and makeup without even grabbing a cup of coffee. We gave it to her on the way out. She got in the car, put her clothes on, got her hair and makeup in the car, got on stage, and here she is.
With you. With you.
So one more final question. One more final question. And I know that JR, if he were out here, I know he'd want to ask this because JR has always thought that Eva, he loves Eva. Like of all the women and people in my life, Eva Longoria is JR's favorite. Always. Always. And he always says, I don't always agree with everything that Eva does on a political side, but if she would run for president, I'd vote for her any day of the week.
Never.
So, would you ever consider running for office?
Never. one thing.
That's the one thing.
Never. No. Let me tell you something about the political process for everybody. The most powerful position in our democracy is the citizen. And that's where we're going to make change. So
You're right. Be your own president.
you don't have to be a politician to be political. It's the citizen.
That's right. It's a citizen, and be your own president, guys. Be
That's
in
right.
charge of your life. Let's thank Eva for coming out.